Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Flute Life with KTFlute. Today I'm going to be trying out 4 different flute related accessories, so let's get started. Okay, so before we jump right on into the first accessory, I just want to make a quick disclaimer that I purchased all of these products with my own money and this video is not sponsored whatsoever. First up, we have these silicone thumb rests. According to the description, it says when using the instrument for a long time, the thumb pad can help to eliminate fatigue and stress. It provides an extra thumb rest and helps maintain correct finger position. And looking at the photos on the reviews, although this is called a thumb rest, it looks like most people actually put it on the part of the flute where this part of your finger meets. So let's test it out. Also, I should say that there were a lot of these types of products online, but initially I was attracted to these because they came in bright colors and I am a 4-year-old. And you already know which one I'm going to pick to use. So it pops on really easily onto the flute, and it seems like this is good because it's not going to scratch the flute or anything. I'm not sure if I love how that feels there. It adds some extra space there, obviously, and now in my hand position, it just feels wide. I don't know if that makes any sense. It does feel comfortable to have it rest right there instead of touching the metal, but I don't know. I know a lot of flute players get this red mark here that sometimes can even turn into a little callus just from, the flute being pressed into this part of the hand. And that's just where it has to balance. It's kind of unavoidable. Of course, you don't want to squeeze super hard, but it seems for me that no matter, even if I'm super relaxed, eventually if I'm playing for a long time, I do get this little red mark there. It doesn't normally hurt or anything, but let's see how it feels with this thumb rest in this position. Okay, this definitely does not feel comfortable. I am having trouble reaching over to cover the keys completely. My hands are relatively small, and I think that just adding something extra there, it wouldn't make sense for me. But I don't know, I think it's a very individual thing. Maybe if you have bigger hands, you might want to try it out. But if you're a student, I would definitely talk to your teacher before you add anything onto your flute like this. And I'm curious to know if any of you have success with using these types of pads on your flute. For me, I think I feel more comfortable with the flute in its natural state. Okay, so next up I have 2 accessories that I'm really excited to try. These are from the Blocky Flute Company. And I've seen one of them in particular a lot online, and it seems like it would be especially useful when teaching beginner students, so I'm really excited to try it. So this is the Pneumo Pro, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. And it says it's a wind director for beautiful flute tone. On the back of the box, it says the Pneumo Pro has helped thousands of new flutists learn to produce a beautiful tone. Band directors and flute teachers love how the Pneumo Pro takes the mystery out of tone production. And for advanced flutists, it says the Pneumo Pro helps with tone production, double and triple tonguing, flexibility between octaves, tuning, especially with dynamic changes, and advanced techniques such as multiphonics. So let's open it up. So inside it looks like this, and we have a little diagram here that's going to show us how to put it into our flute and use it, and then it comes in 2 separate parts. So let's see if I can figure out how to put this together. So basically what this does, I did watch a little video on it just so I can figure out how exactly to use it, but it replaces your head joint in your flute, or I think you can just hold it by itself without putting it into the body of your flute. And it's not for making sound, but it's going to show you how you are directing your air and if you're using it efficiently. So you have these 4 little propeller looking things here, and they're all different colors, and then this part just looks like the lip plate of your flute with the head joint. So let's quickly read a little more about it here. It says to produce the first low note, place the Pneumo Pro under the lip while covering no more than 1/4 of the embouchure hole. Have the students aim the air column slightly above the upper teeth and then use the upper lip to direct the air down to the lowest fan. Once the student can consistently isolate the lowest fan with the low note embouchure, check the speed at which the fan is spinning and the length of time it spins. In order to simulate a full and resonant low note, the lowest fan must spin quickly so that it generates generates a spinning sound as long as possible. When students can isolate the lowest fan with a long sound at least 5 times in a row, they are ready to duplicate the air column on the flute head joint. So I think this is really interesting. I know I haven't actually tried it yet, but this seems like it would be an awesome teaching tool. And I know when I'm working with my students on creating that first sound on their head joint, I talk a lot about aiming the air down into the flute, down into the head joint. And this seems like it would be a great tool to really illustrate exactly what that means and what it feels like and looks like. So now I'm just gonna try sliding it into my flute. I think that maybe if you're an ultimate beginner student, it might be easiest not to put it into the flute just yet, just because, you know, then you're thinking about how do you balance the instrument along with thinking about this situation up here. But let's just see. Okay, so I've got the yellow one. Red. Is the green one broken? Am I just really bad at this? So I'm able to move the red one really consistently, but that green one, man, how do you get it? Okay, so I cannot isolate the lowest fan. This is gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna have to practice more with this. Now I am obsessed with trying to make this green fan move. Why can't I do it? Well, the red one is going strong, but I'm not sure if that's cheating though. When it's not attached to the flute, I'm able to kind of roll it a little bit this way. And apparently it says there that you can also put a penny here, balance a penny, just to make sure that you're not, you know, moving the head joint around. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around with this more and see if I can really isolate that green fan. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so the next accessory is also from the blocky flute method. And this one is called the flute tutor. You can see how happy he is there to be using the flute tutor. It says the flute tutor is like hiring a tutor to keep your flute position correctly every time you practice. I feel like some of my students could use this. I could probably use this. It says the flute tutor is for correcting poor positioning, ensuring that new students use the same position each time they pick up the flute. So it looks like it's just going to hold the flute in place for you. Too bad it doesn't come in pink, but it will have to do. So I've just snapped it on there like so, and then I'm going to use this just to screw it back in. Okay. In the photo, he looks like it's back here, but his shoulder's like this. I don't know, I feel like maybe, are my arms too short for this? So I feel like it's a nice reminder to have it there, just helping you to keep your flute nice and steady. And I think this would be a good tool for the beginning student. Is it absolutely necessary? I don't think so, but maybe if you don't have as much body awareness and you want to just really make sure that you are keeping your flute in a nice position, it could be useful. I feel like I wish there was a bit more resistance there, because it's like light plastic material, which is good because you don't want to weigh the flute down, but I think that maybe if it was a little more noticeable there, it could be even more useful. Okay, so our final accessory for today is this CL. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Flute sound enhancer. Okay, so it comes in a box that looks like this. I feel like I'm a beauty YouTuber doing a makeup review. And this is the sound enhancer. So it looks like it's supposed to just stick onto your instrument. There's like some sticky glue type feeling thing there. I hope it doesn't leave a residue on my flute, but we'll see. I didn't read the reviews yet because I don't want to, you know, be biased, but I'm gonna put this on my flute and see if it changes anything. So I thought I'll play something first without it and then with it, and I'll put it back to back and you guys can see if there's any difference in the sound. First, before I give my opinion, leave a comment and let me know if you could hear the difference between me using this sound improving device and without it. While you do that, let's see if I can take this off of my flute. It just sticks on there really well, but I feel like this is going to, you know, get dusty and fuzzy and lose its sticking power. So it didn't leave any residue on my head joint, but I guess you would just have to store it in that little box, because I don't think that you can leave this on your head joint or whichever part of the flute you decide to put it on and have it fit in your own case. So personally, I could not really feel or hear a difference. I am interested to listen back to the recording and see if I can tell the difference then. It did change a little bit the balance of the flute. It felt a little top heavy on this side to the head joint, which I didn't mind, but that's just something to consider. It seems like you can really attach it to any part of the flute that you want. In the photos, it was mostly here on the head joint, or there's one under the lip plate. So I'm curious to know if you could hear a difference and if you've used one of these before or any of these other sound enhancers. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but I couldn't really tell a difference. So that's all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know if you like this style of video where I review accessories, and if there are any other flute related accessories that you want me to try, please leave them in the comments below. I'll also link all the products that I talked about in the description box of this video. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos from me, and go follow me over on Instagram at katieflute. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you.